Hi, I feel like it's been a while since I've done a sit down video. This angle doesn't seem quite right to me. Not sure why, but we're gonna roll with it. Hi, welcome to my November wrap up. So it's been a pretty busy month. I've had a lot going on. The first of the month seems really far away and there's just a lot that's been going on. So I didn't get as much read as I would have liked, but I did read quite a few things and I'm proud of what I've done. Let's count them. I read 16 things, but one of them was a DNF. So let's go through everything. So first off, I read The Deathless Girls by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. I'm just going to change my angle a bit. This is a early young adult, I would say, retelling of the Brides of Dracula. It deals with some heavy themes, but I would say it's written in a way that's approachable and suitable to slightly younger audiences with adult themes. Hard to explain, but so this features a lot of like slavery, abuse components, Brides of Dracula. I don't really know how much else to say about it. I didn't love this. I think what I struggled with was the writing style and connection to the characters. It's pretty short. It's only 300 pages and for me it just wasn't quite long enough to really feel the connection that I was wanting from it. The characters are good but were lacking a little bit in something. I also read this over like going away, so that probably didn't help. I'm zooming in a bit because I felt like we were way out. Yeah, didn't really feel the connection to the characters that I wanted, and the writing style was not my favorite. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It just wasn't what I wanted, and I can't really explain why, but I thought the ending was pretty solid. It just kind of felt a bit drudgy for me. So if I was to give it a rating, which I'm kind of not doing at the moment, but I think I'm going to start again, I think it would be maybe a 3.5 stars. Then I read Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and this is a Mayan fantasy retelling, I guess, where our main character Cassiopeia accidentally reawakens the death god Hunkame, and he's one of two death gods, and they're kind of in a battle against each other, and she gets wrapped into this. I really enjoyed this. I thought the writing was really clever and fun, and I really liked the characters, and I felt really engaged the whole way through this. I would totally recommend this. I think it's like a 4.25 kind of stars. It wasn't quite 5-star worthy, but I really enjoyed my time reading this, and I would definitely recommend it. So I'm gonna fit around with this, like I'm changing the view like a million times, but I just want it right, you know, and it's just, it looks wrong for some reason. Then I read The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. This is one I unfortunately didn't love for a couple of reasons. So this is a fantasy focusing on a class system, and our main character Phi is of kind of the lowest class, the crows, and they are somehow immune to this plague that is sweeping everyone else. So they're kind of like the plague doctors, I guess. They kill those in suffering from the plague to stop it from spreading. What I think I really didn't like was the writing style in this. There were some key things that really irked me, including some use of particular words like betwixt and things like that just felt really out of place. The world building I think was a bit hodgepodge. I was a bit confused from time to time, and overall I just think it was all right, but it was really lacking in world building, and the writing actively drew me out of the story on a regular basis. So for me this was like a generous 3 stars. I probably won't continue with this series, but the covers are gorgeous. Then I read what will definitely end up being one of my favorite books of the year, and that is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. This is a novella from Becky Chambers. and is definitely a standalone. It follows a group of, what are they called? So it's in the 22nd century. So they use somaforming instead of terraforming, where they adjust the human body to survive in different environments, and they're trying to, it's a group of scientists from Earth going to map out potential life forms on other planets. And it's their little journey on some of the planets they go to. It's very quiet and soft, but it is so impactful and meaningful, and we know Becky Chambers is a genius. This reinforced that. I loved this so much. Also, the casual polyamory in this was also super chef's kiss, and it was just really well done, and I squealed when I realized it was in this, and I was so happy with it the whole way through. Then I read a audiobook, which was The Sentence is Death by Anthony Horowitz. This is a sequel to The Word is Murder, which I read a month or so ago and really enjoyed, so I picked this one up from my library as soon as I could, and it is it's a murder mystery series where the author is the main character, and it's just really clever and really fun, and I absolutely love this series. The mystery element I thought was really well done. It was probably a little less interesting than the first one, but I'm definitely interested to read more in this series as well. It was very entertaining. I don't think the third one's been announced yet, but I'm very excited to keep my eye out for it. Then I did a special video, like Books and Lala inspired challenge video, which I'll try and remember to link in the cards. And for that, I let my bookstore randomly select 3 books for me to read. So the first one of those is We Are Lost and Found by Helene Dunbar. This is a story about the AIDS epidemic and queer culture and dealing with yourself, like finding your true self and dealing with coming out and things like that. I personally had a great time reading this. It's very sad, but I definitely flew through it, and it has a sense of hope and well-meaning in this. I think I would give this a 4 stars. I did really enjoy my time. If you want to see my real-time thoughts and feelings on this, definitely check out that vlog. The next book I read for that video is Murder, Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens. This is a middle grade murder mystery, and it is a murder mystery, which I love because often I feel like middle grade mysteries tend to like cut out the murder, but this is a murder mystery, and it was so fun. It's set in a British boarding school, so it comes with all that like posh dumb stuff, but it's very self-aware in my opinion, and I had a really good time reading this. I would definitely recommend it. It was a lot of fun. I don't have much else to say. Definitely go check out my vlog for more thoughts on this. And then finally in that vlog I read Amelia Westlake by Erin Goff. This is an Australian Love Oz YA release, and it's also set in a private school. Funny that, all girls private school. And we follow our 2 main characters, Harriet and Will, who kind of band together, even though they're kind of like adversaries, to make up this character, Amelia Westlake, who has been running pranks to out some malpractice at the school. And I really enjoyed this. It did take me a while to read, and I don't think it was perfect, but it was enjoyable and fun, and the Australian references and culture were really, like, sometimes Australian books can like lay it on a bit thick for me, but this was like the perfect balance. I really enjoyed it. Then I read volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Sunstone by Stepan Sage. This is a BDSM romance graphic novel series, and I had a good time reading this. I won't really go into much details about them. They were very entertaining and fun, and I'm glad I read them. No, I would recommend if for an adult audience. I did also reread Goblet of Fire from the illustrated edition this month. The one book this month that I DNF'd was The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, which is a thriller. I really wanted to love this, and and I really thought I would, but I ended up sitting on it for so long. I just was never inclined to pick it up. I don't know whether it was just a combination of life slump and stuff, but it's essentially a Turn of the Screw retelling in a smart house in modern times, but it just was not getting my interest. I was like 20% of the way through and I felt like nothing had happened, and I really couldn't bring myself to pick it up. So I DNF'd it. I just was like, something else will get my attention and I'll read it really fast. And it just, yeah, that was not the audiobook for me at the time. But alas, we DNF'd. Then I read another of my favorite books of the year, which is probably no surprise to anyone, but that is the Starless C by Erin Morgenstern. This is obviously Erin Morgenstern's newest release, and it's like a love letter to reading and books and video games, and I don't know how to describe this. I don't want to tell you the plot because it's very confusing and doesn't really explain anything. It's all mysterious and nostalgic, and it's just so good. It's just so good. This was an instant 5 stars from like page 2. I was obsessed with it. I binged it in a couple of days. It's already got some peeling cover, velvety. But I just loved this so much. I can't wait to reread it. I kind of want to annotate it. I can't express how much I love this to you, but I also did a reading vlog for this, which probably explains things a little better. So I'll try and remember to link that in the cards as well. Then a couple of books that I've been reading for a while. First off, we have Ambler by Lara Elena Donnelly. Both this and the next book have been on my currently reading shelf for a long time. I didn't want to DNF them, but kind of life got in the way, so I put them down for a while. It was a like soft DNF. But I picked them both back up this month. Ambler is a 20s inspired fantasy, but not magic. It's just like another world with mostly political machinations. And I didn't think I liked this until maybe 150 pages in, and then suddenly I became fully invested. By the end, I was obsessed. I think this is something that really takes a bit to get into. The first bit felt really dry. I just didn't understand what was happening. But by the end, I was so ready to pick up book 2. So I'm definitely going to do that sometime. I'm going to probably buy it in the new year. And I really enjoyed this. For some reason, I was convinced at like 150 pages that I would DNF at any time, and then it kind of just clicked in, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I'd give it like a 4 stars. It was really good. It also has a male romance at its core, though it's a bit tragic. And then finally this month I read A Fire and Stars by Audrey Colt Hearst. This again was on my currently reading, as I said, for a long time. And unfortunately this one I think I should have DNF'd. It also was a really slow start for me, but it didn't pick up as much as Ambler did. It just ended up being 3 stars for me. I think it had a combination to do with a failure on my behalf to connect to the characters, but then also the writing for me just didn't click. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but it just didn't work for me. It didn't work in its favor. And it just all felt a bit simple and easy and not complex and interesting enough for me, and it just really let me down. I wanted to love this. Everybody hates the prequel but loves this book, so I don't know, maybe I'll like the prequel. Let me know if you think, if I disliked this, if I should give the prequel a try. Let me know. So those are all the books that I read in the month of November. I feel like I haven't articulated myself well in this video, but we're just rolling with it because it's going to be way too late if I wait and film again. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you read in the month of November, and feel free to chat with me about any of these books in my Twitter DMs or down below. And otherwise, I will see you soon with another video. Bye!